Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena gameplay. I have been lucky lately. My girlfriend was sick with like the worst cold ever, and while I have had a little bit of a sore throat and like a little bit of a stuffed nose, like I definitely didn't actually get a cold. I think you can't really say that you have a cold unless you have to constantly be wiping your nose with tissues or you're constantly coughing. And I didn't really have any of those, so like I'm lucky that I didn't get that. And then I'm lucky that I got 2 wins in a row with this sort of mediocre rogue deck, helped a little bit by my opponent's poor plays. Now we're up against a warrior. I think in general warriors do really well against rogues simply because they have weapons and their weapons are better, and they have armor to heal up after attacking and you don't. And a warrior can also heal faster than you can deal damage, so it's an uphill battle in many ways when you're a rogue versus a warrior. Still though, doesn't mean you can't win. And here, my opponent mulligans 2 cards out of 4, so presumably he enjoys his hand. We've got a pretty decent Fiery War Axe proof hand here. Argent Squire obviously holds up quite nicely against it, and Bluegill Warrior might run into something and just die, so it doesn't really care. And then these minions, you know, they're fine against Fiery War Axe. It's really, that's just what I always think about when I play against a warrior, is how good's my hand against Fiery War Axe. Alright, this is another Leper Gnome, 2 turn 1 Leper Gnomes here in today's games, not a problem. I will hit it with my dagger. That just means taking 2 extra damage, but it also means preserving the Divine Shield, and I think, as the proverb says, damage on the face is less valuable than damage on a minion. I think it's worth it to keep the Divine Shield up for other causes, even if that means taking just a pitiable 2 extra damage. Wow, well, my opponent just throws down lots of stuff for me to kill with my, with my dagger. Luckily, I get a Fairy Dragon. I would much rather play a Fairy Dragon than play a Bluegill Warrior. Because the Bluegill Warrior, sure, that's, you know, damage, but I'd rather keep that in my back pocket, and this is more power and more health, which is, you know, is potentially important. Plus, not being targeted by spells, well, against a Warrior, it's like the least useful it ever gets, because like Heroic Strike and Cleave and Fiery War Axe all still kill it anyway, but that's all good. So, my opponent drops a Loot Hoarder. That's the 3rd 1 toughness creature of the game, and plays Cleave to kill off my minions, as is only proper and fair, I suppose. Alright, well, we got a couple of options here. So I can play Ascension, and I can backstab that. I can also play Panda to recharge my Argent Squire, leave the Loot Hoarder alive, and backstab that. Backstabbing this goes down a card. I'm not a particularly big fan of doing that. I'd rather kill this with the dagger. But if I kill it with the dagger, that means not playing a real big minion. We're going to take a little bit of a risk here. What I'm actually going to do is play Senjin. I will leave that Loot Hoarder alive. Now, that is a risk, for sure. I'm judging, though, that it would take a lot of buffing for this 2 power to reach up to 5 health. I'm gambling he doesn't have anything quite like that to make up the difference of 3. And that next turn, I can, like, kill the Loot Hoarder with my Senjin and then recharge the Divine Shield on the Argent Squire with my Panda. And it looks like I may get to do this if he doesn't run the Loot Hoarder in, which he doesn't. Okay. So let's think very carefully about the situation here. I could obviously assassinate the Yeti. Yeti's not the greatest target for assassinate, but nor is it the worst. I could backstab the Yeti and kill it with Senjin. The problem is I can't play Dagger Up and Panda, which is what I like to do, so I can get rid of this Loot Hoarder. I wonder. Okay, well, there's no great turn no matter what I do here. It's all like a little bit suboptimal, however you swing it. Yeah, assassinate. I could really regret assassinating this. Then again, I do have another assassinate in the deck, so maybe it's worth it. You know what? Okay, crap. Let's just not get greedy here. I am going to backstab this Yeti, kill it with Senjin. Kill the Loot Hoarder with my Squire. And then I'm just going to play this Warrior. Now, I could have played the Panda to put a bigger body on the board than the Warden and put the Senjin back in my hand, but I judged that it was worth it to keep this on the table for now. That could end up being incorrect, but we'll see. Yeti number 2 drops down. Okay, it's a good card, that Yeti. And I get another backstab. Well, I could backstab Senjin and do those antics again, but now I am going down a card. So this might be the appropriate time to assassinate, I think. I could also play the Panda, which will trade with the Yeti. But that would let the Yeti take a big bite out of the Warden. Yeah, we'll assassinate. and swing for 4. So what's the story of this game? Well, he's got 6 cards to my 5, soon to be 6. I am the first player, so I've managed to not go down a card. But his health is pretty high, and I don't have super great stuff here, so all he takes is 1 big minion, and he's going to be in good shape. Well, he doesn't have 1 big minion, he has Ascension, so he keeps playing 4-drops. And as I often say, folks, good 4-drops do win games. Ravenholt Assassin. Alright, what I'm going to do here is go a card down. I will judge that the Ascension has done enough work. I'm officially a card down at this point. He's got 6 cards to my 4, soon to just be 5. But I've got this Ravenholt Assassin, so hopefully the pressure of that, backed up by the taunt here to protect him from weapons, will be enough. This could go very sour very quickly, though. It's a fragile situation that I'm in. I mean, I just don't have that much endgame. I have to rely on my 4-drops and this guy. That's pretty much it. He's going to play a Dread Corsair without weapon. And this Cobra is extremely good against that Warden. Alright, well, what we have... So I would have liked to use the Warrior and a Dagger to kill the Dread Corsair. The issue then is that this Cobra just wrecks my Warden's face. So I have to kill the Cobra instead. But in order for that to work, I do have to damage my Assassin, killing that Pirate. And this could be a problem, for sure.
Here we go.
So here's the thing. I'm actually considering using the Brewmaster to put this guy back in my hand. I'm actually going to do that. This is the only endgame I have. I just can't leave it sitting around here for executes and cleaves and stuff. We're going to put it back in my hand. 5 power, less than 7, sure, but it's pretty sturdy. And since Warriors, most of a Warrior's removal is weapons, this is pretty safe behind this taunting wall. So next turn I can play this and a Defias Ringleader and then get 6 damage through and hope for the best. The issue now is that the Spiteful Smith can run into my Warden and get enraged. I'd have to throw both my creatures at this thing in order to kill it. Perdition's Blade, not helpful here. Alright, well, I'm going to do this and think. Do I want to kill this thing? Or do I risk him having a weapon? Well, the thing is, even if he has a weapon, this guy will still be alive after the Spiteful Smith whacks it, so the weapon will just go into this. Unlike a Shaman, he doesn't have Wind Fury weapons. So I will get 6 extra damage on his face. I hit him in the face with the dagger, because even though it's kind of futile to chink my dagger against his armor, I've got a Perdition's Blade, and I'm certainly going to be able to combo it out. That's guaranteed. Unless it's like I mean, it could be like a Eviscerate or something that like if it's 2 combo cards in your hand, it kind of sucks. But anyway, I've got, 7, 12, 13, 15, 16, presumably 18, 20 damage, going at his face, so he's got to be a little bit careful. I do have lethal. Warden was actually pretty good this game, preventing the Smith from killing off my 5 damage minion. So he used Heroic Strike plus the Smith. He needs Taunt or Life Gain to survive right now. Oh, he passes the turn. Well, that was not the right time for him to just sit down and shut up. I've got lethal here. Well, I'm going to give myself some credit for making some good plays this game. Turns out I didn't actually need the combo. He was at -1 health. He would have been just at 0 if I hadn't comboed out the blade. Still, though, gonna give myself some credit for making an unusual play, pandaing the Ravenholt Assassin to recharge it to protect it from removal. And the Warden was actually pretty good that game. I mean, it's not a terrible card, it's just a mediocre one, and in that particular case, we saw how the Warden could be really good. By protecting the life of my Panda, he enabled me to get the damage through, lethal damage through a turn earlier. Round and round the round it goes. Where it stops, everybody knows. Everybody knows it stops on worthy opponent. Druid. Whale Hunter the Druid. This is another class that I'm not a fan of playing against as a rogue. Simply because Druids deal a damage to you and heal up against your damage with their hero ability, and you can't say the same for yourself. Well, I am second as a rogue with a Defias Ringleader in my hand. That is a rare, rare treat. If I had a backstab, I would actually consider not necessarily coining this out on turn 1, so that I could use the coin to play the Ghoul or the Perdition's Blade on turn 2. I might still consider that, actually. Just because you have the Defias Ringleader with the coin doesn't necessarily mean it's the right play, especially against a Druid who can just kill it. But this seems fine, so I'm going to do it Turn 2 will be the dagger, but then after that I have a 3-play and a 4-play, so we're in good shape. And if he shapeshifts to kill off the bandit, I'm pretty much okay with that, because I've still left a 2-2 on the field, and I can start putting out some pressure. It's an ugly situation, because if he has like a 3-2 here, he really doesn't want to play it, because then my bandit will actually die for a good cause. Even if he has a 2-3, it'll still be the case. He's going to Wrath to kill that and draw a card, that's fine. So, it's always a tricky question, do you shapeshift to kill something, or do you Wrath? I can see arguments pro and con going both ways. So whether or not you attack the face right here depends on whether you think you're going to play Perdition's Blade next turn. And I'm guessing I actually... Well, or the turn, that next turn or the turn after. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to play Perdition's Blade next turn or the turn after, so I will take a little risk and hit him in the face. But it's possible that I will regret it. I just feel like with the Ghoul and with Ascension, I've got other things I'll actually rather be doing. So he has 6 cards to my 6, soon to be 7. I'm the second player, so that's normal. Scarlet Crusader is a little bit of an unfortunate card to see here, but I can actually still just keep on going as planned. We'll play the Ghoul, run in, kill it with the dagger, got this nice big Ghoul here, and he's used his Wrath already, so the answer that he had for the Ghoul in his hand is now gone. He might, of course, have another one, but one of them is gone, so he might regret it. Does he have a Claw? Ah, he does. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. He had another answer. Still, though, he's going to take a damage, and then I used a 3-mana minion to get out, to basically waste his entire turn. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to go ahead and drop Senge and Shieldmaster. Good times all around. I might use Blade and Deadly Poison if I need to deal 4 damage, or 5 damage, actually. I can actually kill a Yeti with Blade plus Poison. If he drops a Druid of the Claw here, that's what would really suck, because that's 6 damage. No, an Azure Drake, not a problem. I can kill that very easily. In fact, I might not even need to do anything. Yeah, I could make a dagger and Deadly Poison and Eviscerate, because Eviscerate's how you want to kill it, I think. Otherwise, the shot from the Blade is wasted. Well, I could also do Argent Squire Perdition's Blade, shoot it and hit it. Then I have a weapon in my hand. But with Deadly Poison, I don't really want a half-done weapon in my hand. So yeah, I think I'd rather just do Argent Squire, Eviscerate, swing at the face, make a dagger. And I'm not going to attack, because now that I'm holding Deadly Poison, I want this dagger to be fully charged. So I correctly judged that I wasn't going to use the Perdition's Blade in this game state, which is good, because it enabled me to get an extra point of damage through with my dagger from back in the day. Spiteful Smith, just for the stats here. 6 health, bit of a difficult thing to deal with. Oh my goodness. Well, crap. Alright, so what I need to do, unfortunately I'm going to have to waste my dagger that I so carefully made last turn. We're going to play the Blue-Glu Warrior.
So many options.
To turn on combo. I'm going to shoot this thing. Put a Deadly Poison on it.
Here we go.
And so I've used everything to its fullest potential. The issue is that a swipe here would let him kill the Senjin, the Warrior, and pop the Divine Shield. And he's got 7 cards to have a swipe. He's already had Wrath and Claw, so he's had a decent amount of removal. Oh no, he's just going to play an Ancient of War. Just, quote-unquote. Going to play an Ancient of War. Alright, well, how do we kill this thing? I don't have any, I don't have my Assassinates, which is what I needed. I needed an Assassinate here. There's 2 in the deck, but they're both in the bottom 2/3. So bad luck here. Let's see, I got 4 damage, 5 damage, 6, 7, 8.
So
Lord, I'm going to have to throw this engine away, aren't I? 4, 7, 8. Well, let's shiv it up. Maybe I will top deck into an Assassinate. Nope! Not a chance. Alright, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I'm not just gonna sit tight here. That was a pretty good Ancient of War, as far as Ancients of War go. That's too bad. So that one card basically won him this game. That one card plus me not having either of my 2 Assassinates. That's kind of unfortunate. I could have drafted a Silence. I forget what I could have taken There was an owl in there at some point that I could have taken. Shapeshift is very good. Hero ability lets him kill this leper gnome now. Take 3 net damage. Got enough health that I can't really burn him out, especially him being a druid. But I think that's what I'm going to have to try, because I'm just so far behind on cards. Oh my god, are you goddamned kidding me? Turn late. Literally a turn late. Well, the Yeti's pounding through some damage, but it's a slow process. He needs any kind of taunt, and he's going to be totally fine. Ironbark Protector, and he pretty much wins the game. Removal for the Yeti, and he pretty much wins the game. He's got 7 cards. He's going to have something here. Probably. I mean, it's possible. I've definitely won some miraculous games where the opponent didn't have answers in a big hand, but, you know, it's not likely. He's got the swipe. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh, does he actually have answers for both of them now? That would suck. Healing Touch. Well, he goes down a card. Healing Touch is good here. Because he's up so many cards that it doesn't matter that he goes down a card for the Healing Touch. So we're plinking at him with the dagger. I'm not really making progress, though, because he's been shape-shifting every time. At least now I've got the Cobra. This could have been a Mana Addict. That would have been awful. So yeah, Cobra is good for clearing out big taunts. I've only got 4-5 damage a turn with the dagger. It's just not really enough against a druid with 6 cards. Unless these are like all Healing Touches and Alarmabots or something. Now I still have my Ravenholt Assassin in the deck, so that'd be cool to draw. And this is the one game so far where he hasn't shown up. And the Warden again being good, stopping Shapeshift from killing my Squire, which could help me a lot in dealing critical points of damage. He's gonna have a card, which is bad, and a Starfire for the Cobra is also bad. So he just went up 2 cards against me. And this is a very comfortable 14 health. Backstab is really unhelpful in this particular situation. Oh god, a Ravenholt Assassin would have been pretty good there. I could have actually won the game if I'd had a Ravenholt Assassin right there, but alas, it was not to be. Didn't get the Assassinate in time, didn't get the Ravenholt Assassin in time. He's got the Druid of the Claw. Ah, jeez. And a Grizzly for good measure. Well, I could still get my other Assassinate. Oh, Jesus freaking Christ. Well, that's what happens when you're playing against someone who has lots of cards. I don't have enough damage to rush him down. We're going to say well played and concede. That was a bit of a sad game, but you know, I cut some pretty good breaks in my other 2 games, so I can't really complain too much about losing that one. Now we're up to 3-1. I thought we were around 2-1. Well, that's pretty cool. So, that's nice. Where am I hoping to end up? Well, you know, let's just say I hope I make it to 7. It's possible. And then I would complete my daily quest, get 100 gold, be up above 6,500 again. But it's hard with this deck. Alright, Ziggs the Rogue. Am I going to be second this time? I'm always first in a rogue-to-rogue matchup. No, I am second! Alright, well, let the record show. So I'm going to mulligan the Eviscerate because I've got Backstab. I'm going to mulligan the Warden because he sucks, and the Ravenholt because he's endgame. He's showing up a game late here. The Abusive Sergeant, not helpful without any other 1-drops. I really would have rather had the Argent Squire, or at least the Leper Gnome, whom I would play on turn 1. Or the Defias Ringleader, really, any of those would have been great. Instead, we just have to pass the turn. Now, I might end up actually having to coin out one of these 4-drops on turn 3 and play the other on turn 4, which is fine. It just depends on how slow my opponent's start is. If she plays something that I can kill with a Bluegill Warrior on turn 2, then I will. And then coin out the probably Yeti on turn 3. Which is a pretty strong play if you can do it. She's passed on turn 1, so her opening is not that fast. If she daggers up here, yep, that's a slow start for my opponent. So I'm just going to make a dagger, because there's no reason running this into its death. Just going to make a dagger and hope for the best. I, unlike her, will not attack with my dagger, because I don't really see any reason to. And there's a decent chance that I'm not going to have enough mana to make another dagger anytime soon. Southsea Deckhand. She's just going to run that into its death, but it's actually not just running into its death, it's also making the Defias Ringleader. I see. I see. Alright, well, I'm really happy that I actually kept my dagger around, because now what I can do is this, and I honestly feel pretty good about backstabbing this thing. Because I can kill the other one with the other tick of my dagger that I so judiciously saved, so I don't really mind going kind of a card down, backstabbing half of the ringleader combo. So it's a slow start for my opponent, but then quite the explosive turn 3. Let's see if she's got a nice backup here, like a Yeti or something, to follow up. No, a Violet Teacher, good card. Well, it depends on how many spells she can play next turn. And in fact, well, I could actually kill this by playing Abusive Sergeant. No, I couldn't. That's 5 mana. Damn it. Okay, so I could play Perdition's Blade, shoot this thing for 1, Deadly Poison, hit it for 4, and kill it that way. Then I'm wasting a tick of my dagger. So I really should have then ended up attacking my opponent. Yeah, I don't think you can leave a Violet Teacher alive. So I will actually do this. So we'll do that. That. Kill this guy with my Senjin. So I've got a 4-power weapon sitting out here. A 3/3 with taunt. And she's got 5 cards. So I'd say that I'm in the lead here. Now I'm at 21 health because she hit me a whole bunch and because I actually hit a bunch of minions. I hit a 2-power minion, and a 3-power minion. An Assassin's Blade is frustrating because it kills the Senjin. Oh, that's actually really frustrating. And she has all of her health still, so it's not hard for her to do this. Play a Yeti. I could play this to bait the Assassin's Blade, but I'm not gonna. I think actually it's more useful, especially now that we're coming up on turn 6 and might see some big minions as like a potential like pumper for the Blue Warrior or something. Alright, she's gonna deal 1 damage to it. Does she have any more damage? She of course does. Elven! Who plays Elven Archer? Oh my god. Honest to God, Jesus. Well, we're wasting this Perdition's Blade. Oh god, this is bad. Well, crap. This is exactly what I didn't want to see happen. Just an army of little things and me without my fan of knives. Oh my god. Why is everything so terrible? Well, I guess I'll play this. And I guess I'll play this. Draw a card. Maybe I'll get my backstab? Nope, Leper Gnome. We will waste the Perdition's Blade and kill that. So she can kill the Cult Master with the Bandit, unfortunately. But at least I have an Assassinate if she drops something big. She just picked the perfect time to drop a swarm of little minions. Right at the moment when I couldn't deal with it. And she's continuing to do it. So this person clearly drafted an aggro deck. She just didn't happen to want to do anything other than make a dagger on turn 2. But this is a very aggro-y type of deck. She's got some heals. I have no good assassinate targets. God. I've already used my Blue Warrior, so I don't have the Abusive Sergeant to be used anymore. Man, this is ridiculous. Alright, I'll do, I guess, what she's doing, which is just drop a bunch of crap on the field. Does she have lethal here? Well, she's got 3, 5, 7, 8, 11. I'm down to 5 health, and she's got 2 cards. That could be enough, depending on what those cards are, of course. She doesn't have the kill, though. She will use Assassin's Blade to kill off my Cobra. And let's see what happens here, I guess. This can kill my Fairy Dragon. The Elven Archer can kill this. The Berserker can kill that, become enraged, and the 3/3 survives. Yeah, I'm in a little bit of trouble. Because she's got 8 mana and 2 cards. Alright, that's exactly what happened. She also has a Golem, which is resistant to Assassinate. And we're in trouble. Officially in capital T, capital R, trouble. What is this? 5, 8, 10. If it's gonna kill you, you might as well hit it anyway. So I'm gonna do that. She can get me down to 3, 2 health. And then dagger me to death over 2 turns at the worst. And she still has these pesky, niggling 2 cards. Oh, that game was annoying. That game... Yep, there's the 2 damage that she needs to kill me. And that game was so annoying. So annoying. I just had the wrong answers those last two games. I needed the Assassinate against the Druid, and then I could have won, and I needed Fan of Knives against this Rogue, and then I could have won. But she played a swarm of minions, nothing but swarms of little minions all game, when I needed her to play one big minion. And I lost for that reason. So, anyway, can't complain too much. This deck, as I've said all along, is pretty mediocre. So here we are. Made it to 3-0, and then now we're at 3-2. Very unlikely that I'm going to win the next 4 games. But still, we'll see how far we can go. Rogue is not my best arena class. I think it's a fun arena class. Some people really denounce it. But it's actually been alright for me lately. My last 5 runs are 8-8-2, 8-6, which is pretty good. So we're dropping back down here. Lifetime average for Rogue is 6.2, making it one of my worst classes. Actually, it's one of my 4 worst, alongside Paladin, Druid, and Warlock. Although I'm actually very proud, I recently made it so that all of my classes, all 9 classes, are at least a 6.0 average for me. So I actually pulled up Warlock and Paladin, which were below 6, up to 6. Now Warlock and Druid are struggling at 6.0 even, but hopefully I'll be able to keep them up above. Alright, so that game I kept the Abusive Sergeant. Risky keep because my mage opponent makes it difficult to play, of course, the Abusive Sergeant. But I feel like it's worth having as a cheap buff and a cheap trigger for combo. She's got a Voodoo Doctor here. So the main thing that you have to ask yourself here is, do you kill that with Backstab or do you kill that with Coin Dagger? I think the correct answer is you actually kill it with Backstab. And the reason here is that I want to coin out the Flesh-Eating Ghoul next turn and then play the Blood Knight the turn after that. So I don't really want to use up my coin making a dagger. Alright, she doesn't have anything on turn 2, which is perfect. That makes it slightly more likely than average that she's holding on to Frostbolt. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting indeed. I could actually play Abusive Sergeant, coin, and then Ringleader. Nah, that seems silly. Let's just play the Ghoul. And then next turn I can see, do I want to play the Abusive Sergeant to buff the Ghoul and trade up, and then get the combo on the Ringleader? Or do I want to make a dagger and kill something, or do I just want to play the Blood Knight? I might, if she plays Scarlet Crusader or something. I could do a Blood Knight. Okay, well this makes it very clear that I want to dagger up. This grows my Ghoul quite a bit. 4-2 is pretty nice. And then of course I can Abusive Sergeant and have it trade up against a Sen'jin, or even just run into a Sen'jin and then use the knife to finish it off, or even play Cult Master. Whatever, man, it's all good. In this here hood. Okay, that thing. Well, I've got a couple of different things I could do here. I think we'll just keep it simple, keep it safe. Get in there, fight, maggot. Let's buff that up. Run in. Dagger down. Play the Ringleader. So now she needs to kill this Ghoul with Fire Blast, leaving me with 2 other 1 toughness minions. Of course she could have Arcane Explosion, but I'm not going to play around Arcane Explosion because people just don't play with that card much, and there we go, the Ghoul does die. So I've got this nice little swarm army, and she actually passes the turn! She had nothing going on. Well, I could play this, but I don't have any spells, so that seems silly. Let's just play my Terrible Taunt while we're still a turn away from Flame Strike territory. Blizzard would be very good for her. It would freeze everything and kill most of it. But if she drops anything down, I can play Cult Master and have it be epic. I'd love for her to play a Sunwalker. That would be the best. Then I play the Blood Knight, steal the Divine Shield, use the Terrible Taunter to kill it, and swing for 6 damage. We're in business. Boltefist Ogre, that's pretty good as well. I can trade all these things into cards. And in fact, I will do so. These guys are going to die to Flame Strike or something at some point anyway, so not a big deal. Okie doke. So I could make a dagger and hit this, but I think I'd actually rather use the Bluegill Warrior because it's giving me a card. Yeah, and then swing for 5. So that ogre was just a card drawing machine. Like the cult, the cult was very successful today. They have really great recruitment practices. I think I just got 4 cards out of this cult master. All right, that will die to the booty bay. This is like one of the few times that the booty bay is actually a good card. Eviscerate. All right, let's think very carefully about the situation here. Yeah. We'll just kill that, I suppose. And I could dagger deadly poison to kill that thing. No, I think that what I want to do is just this. Use Eviscerate, draw a card, kill that thing. Swing for 4. So now if she Flame Strikes, she does clear out my board. But I'm still ahead on cards. I can play a Ravenholt Assassin and a Leper Gnome and get to work finishing her off. I mean, I've got 6 damage here, plus another 4 damage is 10 damage there, plus another 2 is 12 damage there. She does not have Flame Strike. In fact, I get another card off the Cult Master. She had to do that, by the way, because that was a Taunter, so the Blue Glue Warrior couldn't kill this until the Taunter was out of the way. Does she have answers for this? She does. She's a Fireball for that. But it's kind of like... well, the smoke is cleared, and I've got 9 cards to her to her 3. So we'll do this, this. This is at least 2 damage if it doesn't get silenced. So it's, and this is at least 7 unless she has a taunt. So it's probably 9 damage. She's down to 9, and yeah, I've got lethal here. This is 6, 8, 12, 13 damage here. I could even panda this guy potentially and deal even more damage with him. So it's pretty much over here. She's gonna heal up a little bit. I think I'm still gonna have enough damage to kill her though. Leper Gnome does its job. Okay, I'm still planning to go for the face. I should probably just assassinate that, shouldn't I? Well, I could kill it to be safe. Okay, fine. I'm going to play Fairy Dragon. SI Agent. Shoot that thing dead. So I'm doing my favorite thing, which is hedging my bets. I'm still going to go for the face here. Because I've got another 4 damage here. She's down to 5, down to 4. And then I just need anything to attack her and I win. Flame Strike is what she has to have here. Flame Strike plus Ping will let her kill this off. Clear out my board, and then she might actually come back and win. But no, she's just got a Polymorph, which is not good enough. Ah, Sunwalker. I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for this day, but actually this might not even be the right play. I think I just need to assassinate it. Yeah. Never got to use my Blood Knight, unfortunately. My poor opponent dies. The only bad thing about that game is that I didn't get to use the sheep to kill her off. That's how you always want to kill a mage, is with sheeps. It was not to be, but we made it to 4 wins, which is above average. Top 34%. And that's good. Even if I lose now, I'll still be pretty happy with this arena run. I probably could have drafted better. But the Ravenholt Assassin was a really good pick, and the Cult Master turned out to be a pretty good pick as well. It was just with like some of the removal spells, like the Perdition's Blade and the Deadly Poison, that I might have been off in my thinking. I might also have been incorrect to take the backstabs. I mean, the first backstab, definitely, but the second backstab, I think, was up against some pretty decent cards, and maybe that would have been better than another backstab. Well, the last time I was a rogue, I was second. Can I be second again? No, I'm first. Well, at least I still have a backstab here to trigger combos. I'm going to throw the Deadly Poison and stuff away. I want some minions. I didn't get the Defias Ringleader, which is what I was hoping for, and the Cobra could have been a Mana Addict, which actually would be better here than the Cobra, to be totally honest, because I could play it on turn 2. Mana Addict's one of those things where you're like afraid the opponent has a bunch of spells, and it'll be like a 3/3 every turn. So you often want to kill it. Yeah, Mana Addict would have been really good here. Since I don't have any particular reason to attack with the dagger, I'm going to leave the dagger alone. I can now deal 3 damage thanks to backstab, and still stick a Cobra out. It's just crazy how much damage rogues can do without having to spend any mana. Cult Master was the MVP of the last game. Not so much here, though. A bit awkward here. Still gonna hang on to my dagger. I just don't see the point of attacking into it. I mean, I could potentially play a Perdition's Blade sometime soon, but I just don't see that happening, I think. Much more likely to end up playing these minions or the Assassinate. She's gonna Perdition's Blade to kill off my Cobra, which is fine. It just gives me an opening to play my Panda. I have both Assassinates. One of them could have been an Assassin's Blade, which would probably be better here. Okay, I will hit her with the dagger. I think now it's starting to be more likely that I will play this Perdition's Blade. Especially because the Cult Master, I don't want it just to die to her Perdition's Blade. This Panda, if it could attack once, that would be a big deal. If it could just attack one time, that's a sixth of her health here per attack. Kind of huge. Deadly Poison lets her kill it. Well, it kind of got to attack once. It wasted a Deadly Poison, and it still dealt the damage. I guess I'm pretty happy about that, all things considered. I'd love a minion I could play here that isn't Cult Master. That is perfect. Alright, we're going to do this. Hit her in the face. Backstab. And we're in good shape. We got a life advantage. She's got 7 cards to 5. Well, I'm low a card. Somehow in there. I think it's because the weapon gave her enough card advantage. Even with the wasted Deadly Poison, that it was still good. Actually, why is she a card ahead? I should be drawing equal, not a card behind. Well, anyway, whatever. It's all good. So, hopefully the Cult Master will get me a card and we'll be back in tip-top shape.
So many options.
Hopefully she plays something big here, like a Fen Creeper or a Spiteful Smith. Oh, this isn't good. So I get to assassinate this, but the problem is it drew a card, so I just fell a card down. Do I play the Yeti? No, I think you just have to accept going a card down. So now I'm trying to race her down. Now she's 2 cards ahead. She's got 8 cards to my 5, soon to be 6. I hope this engine goes a long distance here. Hopefully she plays another really big minion like a Boulder Fist Ogre or a Sunwalker, or this. This is also fine. Please don't have a 1-mana play. South Sea. No! She's gonna get to kill this engine! Oh my god, that's terrible. South Sea Deckhand. So good it hurts. That should be like a travel slogan somewhere. South Sea Deckhand. So good it hurts. Alright, I'm gonna race her now. This is officially a race.
Here we go.
I just need to kill her dead before she can do the same to me. There's an Eviscerate somewhere in my deck. That will really help. And a Bluegill Warrior and an Abusive Sergeant could also potentially help. But that's it. Other than that, we're in trouble. And of course, every minion she hits with the blade is helpful. But she's got the blade plus 7 cards to my just 5 cards if you count the Perdition's Blade. So, yeah, she's in pretty good shape. Oh no, please don't have an Eviscerate. Please don't have an Eviscerate. Please don't have an Eviscerate. You have an Eviscerate. Ah, that was what she needed. She needed a way to kill off. Rogues have a tough time dealing 5 damage to things. But she had it. Ah, she had it. Oh, I don't have more stuff. You suck. No, stop. What are you doing? Spellbreaker. Alright, fair enough. So the Spellbreaker actually is really helpful here. It's stopping minions from being able to survive. Alright, yeah, we'll do the Cult Master and an Eviscerate to kill off that Spellbreaker.
Here we go.
Hit her for 2. Dagger up. Okay, so now I can deal 2 damage with the SI Agent. She's down to 7. It's going to take 7 turns to dagger her down. That's too many. This Cult Master needs to be able to attack once. So she needs to not have Taunt and not have Backstab or other removal, and I'll be pretty happy. If she kills it with the Assassin's Blade, that's good. It makes a huge difference. 5 cards, no answer to a 4-2. Come on, let's go. She's thinking. Oh, that's good. Probably wouldn't think this long if she was holding a Backstab. So I'm hopeful here that this 4-2 body, which is quite flimsy for 4 mana, will get the job done. I hope she has things like Sprint and Boulder Fist Ogre that just don't help her here. I'd love to see a Boulder Fist Ogre right now. That would be so perfect. I would just assassinate it, swing for 4, get 2 more damage through, 4, 6, 7 damage. I mean, she'd be on death's door at that point with a 3-3 facing down and a 4-2. Yeah, Boulder Fist Ogre would be great. That would just be the boss hoss. But I mean, she's low enough on health, and this thing has enough power that she has to do whatever is necessary to kill this. Well, my arena life is in these 5 cards. How's that for dramatic build-up, huh? Huh? What in the blazes is she thinking about? Guess she has a bad hand. She's flicking her cards constantly. Doesn't seem to know what to do. She's gonna run out of time here. Could she? It could have been that she. Could it be that she bugged out? I mean, is that it? Did she bug out somehow? Well, Deadly Poison's a good card.
Here we go.
As in, it wins me the game. Well, I don't know if she bugged out or just couldn't decide what to do, but I'm happy. That is one time I am happy that someone was thinking for a long time. Doesn't give me a well played or anything. She seems to, I don't know, maybe she's just kind of absent in some metaphorical way. Wow, 5 wins with this deck is something I'm very proud of. I think I definitely made treasure out of this trash. And every extra win from this point on is just gravy. Alright. It's finding me an opponent, I think. Yes. Yes, it is. Onyx Leo. Ah, Paladin. Well, it'd be fitting if I lost here, because as I say, every single time I play against a Paladin, I'm very happy to play against a Paladin as a rogue. I'm gonna make an interesting mulligan decision. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna trust Backstab to be enough. I'm gonna plan to make a dagger on turn 2 to have that ready to kill recruits. Ghoul on turn 3, Senjin on turn 4 is the game plan here. Ah, he's got a secret. God, that's hilarious. And I'm not gonna coin into a dagger, although I'm tempted to coin to the dagger just because this is obviously Noble Sacrifice. He's actually not gonna make a reinforcement. Interesting. Well, it's not Noble Sacrifice or Eye for an Eye, so okay, we know exactly what that secret is. That secret is redemption, folks. The reason he didn't make a recruit is that he didn't want me to dagger the recruit and cause the redemption to be wasted. So what I'm gonna do then, pro player that I am, is make a Senjin. So now he needs to have a buff for this Scarlet Crusader, and he's gonna have to play other minions. So my hope is that I can cause the redemption to trigger against something else. Obviously, Scarlet Crusader is the perfect creature to have brought back with redemption, because redemption brings back your minion with 1 health, and the Scarlet Crusader already starts with 1 health, so it's pretty much a full value redemption for a Scarlet Crusader for just 1 mana. What I really needed to see there was a Blood Knight. Unfortunately, it was not to be. Note the nerf, by the way, secrets no longer trigger on your turn, so that's why the secret didn't trigger there. Now we have got the Scarlet Crusader. Unfortunately, at this point, I can't ignore it anymore. And I still don't have frickin' Blood Knight. God damn it. Alright, what I'm going to do here is make a little bit of a tech play. I'm going to hit him in the face, make a dagger, and put Deadly Poison on it, so that it's ready to go for, you know, some other minion that he might play. I just don't want this getting redeemed, because it's super value. It might be that I'm causing myself to lose by playing around this redemption so hard, but I think it's worth it.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Alright. So now what I'm going to do then is cause redemption to trigger on the Shattered Sun Cleric.
Here we go.
Yeah,
We must
there it
cleanse
is.
the Sunwell.
We're going to play Mogushan Warden then. Backstab that Crusader. Now the Warden's ready to go against the Cleric. Keep in mind, of course, I am up against a Paladin, and you shouldn't let Paladins keep creatures. I've been risking a lot of bad stuff this whole time, but I feel like it was worth it for redemption not to get used on a Scarlet Crusader. And my Blood Knight, of course, nowhere to be found. Nowhere at all. Oh gosh, so many minions. So many minions. And he actually throws the Scarlet Crusader away. Interesting choice. Alright, think about my options here. Oh my gosh, Fan of Knives is so good, it hurts. I'm going to do this. Fan of Knives. So what happens now is that the Warden can finish off this Squire, and I can dagger down the Knight, and I got a huge Ghoul here, which is safe from Consecration and Truce of a Champion. He's got to have Hammer of Wrath, but look at the card situation, 7-4. This is really good. I think I correctly played around Redemption there, and then now he drops a War Golem, which is perfect for me because I can assassinate that bitch. Unfortunately, this, if it were Mana Addict, I could have dropped a minion down. As it is, we'll just have to content myself with making up a dagger. It's reasonably likely that I will play a Perdition's Blade, so I'm going to hit him in the face with the dagger. Well, I'm going to give myself some pro player points here. I read his secret correctly by interpreting correctly the fact of his not playing a recruit on turn 2. So, good call, Papa Boris. And now, that flesh-eating ghoul is crazy, which is good news for me. Let's go ahead and just protect it extra with this taunter now. Yeah. Think about how we want to do this. I think what I want to do actually is hit this bear with my face. Perdition's Blade to shoot that thing dead. Use my MVP Morden to kill that recruit, and then this ghoul can swing for 8. Now I have gotten pretty low on health. I'm actually keeping up with him health-wise because I'm hitting so much, but with these taunts and my card advantage, I feel perfectly safe doing that. So he needs Hammer of Wrath like ASAP to get this thing. Otherwise, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Because I've got, if this thing gets to hit him one more time, I mean, he's practically dead to the Perdition's Blade. I mean, he is dead to the Eviscerate. Yeah, if the Ghoul hits him one more time, he loses next turn, so he has to have the answer this turn. Recruit is not the answer. Does he have a Defender of Argus to give him taunt? He's got a Blessing of Kings. That's not helpful at all. He needs a Sunfury Protector to give those things taunt. And he doesn't have it. Alright, well, that's the game. So, actually, I can just do this. And swing for, 13 damage. Flesh-eating Ghoul. Pretty good card. Hey, dip, 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 dip. Well played. Wow, that was a pretty crushing victory. I am really impressed with myself. I should make this into a video about how to play around Paladin Secrets. Advanced. That's pretty egotistical, but I think I did a good job there. I mean, maybe it's not something that like anyone would have missed. I mean, I think good players would have realized what was going on. Like, I'm not the only person in the universe. Like, I'm not that much of a genius, but still, I know some people would not have realized what was happening there. To recap, my opponent played a secret on turn 1. Then on turn 2, he didn't make a recruit. He didn't use his hero ability. I hit him in the face, realizing the secret was not Noble Sacrifice or Eye for an Eye, so it became clear the secret was Redemption. And then when he played the Scarlet Crusader on the following turn, it was clear that he wanted me to kill the Scarlet Crusader so that the Redemption would trigger and give the Scarlet Crusader back to him. And I didn't do that, and then I won the game. Good story. Well, Abusive Sergeant is the wrong 1-drop. I would have played a Leper Gnome, I would have played an Argent Squire. I will not play an Abusive Sergeant on turn 1 against a rogue. That just seems kind of silly. This is the 3rd rogue of the run, and this time we are first, again, unfortunately. And with a pretty bad hand to boot. I've got nothing to do for the first 3 turns of this game. That kind of sucks. Well, the Perdition's Blade that I mulliganed comes back. I mulliganed it because I really would rather have gotten, like, minions to play. Awkwardly, I never realized this before, but when you have 2 rogues against each other, you don't know who's supposed to say hello first. She has the combo. Well, that would have been a point in favor of playing Abusive Sergeant, I guess. Is so that if she had the combo, at least I'd have the Abusive Sergeant on hand to trade out against the Bandit. Or if she had coin into the dagger, then she wouldn't be doing the combo. Something to think about for the future. Something to think about for the future. Well, can I get a minion? Shiv, actually just as good. I don't want to waste Deadly Poison, but I will totally Shiv it up. Ooh, Leper Gnome, that's cool. Yeah, I'll play Leper Gnome. I mean, the alternative is to wait until I can drop this and then the Leper Gnome, but let's just get my 4 damage for my 1 mana out of the way, use a particular dagger, and call it a day. That was a rhyme? Hey, hey, hey. Oh, she has some other way of killing Leper Gnome, like a Shiv. Or Perdition's Blade, I see. I'm okay with that. That went down, that's fine. Alright. So, Blood Knight shows up a game late like he always do. This is actually interesting because with the Abusive Sergeant, this guy becomes a 3/7 for a little time, which could be nice. And that's not going to be relevant, unfortunately. Well, I'll do it anyway. So we'll do that. Hit the Yeti. Perdition's Blade. Shoot that thing dead. Do I put a Deadly Poison on it? Do I put a Deadly Poison on it? Her health is so high. Yeah. I don't see the point of doing that just yet. I might not need the Deadly Poison depending on what she plays. Like if it's that other rogue who played Swarms of Minions, I'll regret putting Deadly Poison out. Fen of Knives is an amazing card. It kills my minion unless her kill my Warden with her weapon. The good news is that it was her whole turn doing that, pretty practically, but she could still play a 2-mana minion. No, she doesn't have anything. That's fine. Argent Squire. There we go. There we go. Thank you. And do I put the Deadly Poison and start hitting her face? That would be like 8 damage. I just don't know if that's worth it. Okay, well, I'll hedge my bets. We'll do it once. And we'll see about the other one. So I have a 6/6 for her to deal with. She needs an Assassinate, Silencer, a Sap. Any of those would work. 7 cards. Somewhat likely to have an answer. Adon is... that's like a thug Greek or something. She's got a Boulder Fist Ogre, which is lovely as well as dovely because I can kill that thing dead with my Assassinate. Perfect use for Assassinate. Alright, now that I got this Ravenholt Assassin, we're just going to go for the face. I mean, this thing kills her in 2 turns. She kind of demonstrated that she didn't have an answer. This is almost guaranteed 7 damage. Granted, of course, she could play taunts, but almost guaranteed 7 damage. I'm just going to try to close this game out. I'm behind on cards, which is why I'm so interested in doing this. Alright, she draws a Sap, but it's like too little too late. And a Silver Hand Knight. Okay, well, this is getting scary, for sure. But I've got my Ravenholt Assassin. Which sounds like some kind of a, I don't know, 50s ballad to be played by like guitar and piano. I've got my it's like one of those like 50s musicals, like I've got my Ravenholt Assassin. He and I are taking a stroll by the lake. Oh, you have a taunt. Lame. Well, my opponent is now racing me, just as I am racing her. I guess I can't really hold that against her. And she's gonna have the damage to kill me real soon here. Oh gosh, like real soon. Like next turn levels of real soon. Well, we're gonna do what we can here. I'm going to do that. Drop my taunt. Swing for 7. I wish I had another taunt, but I don't. So we'll play a Fairy Dragon. Put it in the middle around Betrayal. She can kill me. I mean, this is 2. She can hit this and still survive with 1 frustrating health. And then she just needs... Oh no, that's lethal. God damn it. Oh my gosh, that was so close. I just needed her to not have an answer there, and she had an answer. Alright, that was a good game. So 6 wins with that deck I'll take. She top decked this Sap just in time. If she hadn't had a Sap right then and there, followed by like a whole lot of power and toughness for just 5 mana, I could have won. Close game. Close game. So that was it. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe if you did. We are 1 win away from getting 100 gold for the daily quest, which is pretty sweet. We'll get that in the next arena, hopefully. And here, oh man, that's a crappy pack. Oh geez, that was, well, that is crappy. Crappy ain't half the right word for that thing. 75. Okay, so I theorized that maybe since the release the rewards had gotten better. That's a lie. 75 is tied for the lowest that I have ever seen at 6 wins in the new era. So that kind of blows big donkey dicks. And here we're going to go ahead and open up our pack. Got a rare. And that's it. Nothing new. I've already got Feral Spirits. I did get a Lightning Storm, so that's like, what is that, 20 dust or something? So, yeah, kind of an underwhelming. Yeah, there's the Lightning Storm in here. Oh, 40, no, 20 dust. It's 20 dust per rare. So, yeah, I got 20 dust and 75 gold as my reward there. Technically, I should be happy because gold is pretty useless right now. Since I have plenty of it. Dust is what I need. I need like another... I keep counting this and keep forgetting, but I think it's like a 14 or 15,000 more dust to craft a complete set. So dust is nice. Every little bit helps. Here we go. We've got Shaman, Rogue, or Warlock. I think it's actually going to be time for Shaman. Because I have 2 fewer Shaman runs than Rogue or Warlock runs. Shaman's been kind of trailing off for me lately, but my last run was a good one, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks again for watching, folks. Remember to like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.